Good, beautiful morning, everybody. It is Monday, March the 6th, 2023. Today I have with me the energy of Master Jesus on the real function of love. And I'm very honored and privileged to be here to be able to communicate this message today to all of you. It's funny, before it came out, he talked to this about over the weekend. He's talking about the real functions of love. But this morning, he brought a point out that really stuck out for me when I was in the shower, and he said, you have to understand that every single form of life is sacred. Every single form of life is sacred. Even a single cell. The single cell in your body is sacred. It's got a life to it. And that came up in conjunction with my consideration about children. Why is our population starting to collapse around the planet? And what was going on with the population explosion. And he said, all these beings were coming in response to our human call for love, to end our suffering. He said, humans throughout all history have often called forth for the divine to give them relief from their suffering. And that relief from suffering comes in the form of angels and ascended masters and teachers and mentors that come into this world, into this physical dimension, via the womb of a woman. That beings actually come and manifest themselves into time and into space through this process. He said the moment you call forth a life, and the moment conception happens, he says in that moment, both the spermatozoa and the ovum, he said, are highly sacred energies. They are the male and female dynamic that's necessary to live in a polarized environment like we live in right now. So when those two fuse together, that first cell is a sacred entity of life that's come in response to your call for love. If you understand that, then you'll be more considerate and respectful of that life. Now, the real function of love, he says, is the ability to be able to recognize that all acts of love preserve, defend, protect, and enhance life in all of its expressions whenever possible. That the function of love is always lifeward. The function of evil is always what you would call towards non-life, non-existence. In the simple act of your breathing, there is a function of love. And it is real. Do you not feel good when you breathe? When you draw in a breath into your body, does it not feel good to you? It is easy for the functions of love will do no harm under any and all circumstances. The functions of love can do no harm. It is only its opposite, the function of fear, that can cause harm. Even walking down the street, do you not delight in the movements of your arms and legs that function on your behalf? Your entire body is a divine function of love. The way you received it was a gift, an offering of love to you. Many of you do not understand this. Many of you, in fact, dismiss the love that is given to you so graciously, so lovingly, so unconditionally. You despair towards it. You do not realize that the beating heart in your body is the voice of your Father saying to you, I am here with you. I am here with you. There was a question that somebody asked last week that I want to include in this, if I may. And the question was this: at what point in conception does life become functional? And what I was told to say was that the moment the soul, that's it. At what point does the soul connect to the body in the womb? And I was told to say that the soul connects to each and every step of the creative process. That is, the moment conception happens, the soul immediately connects to that new cell. As cell division begins to happen, the soul begins to bring itself more into matter. It starts to have more and more cells to integrate its consciousness into. And that process continues throughout the process of gestation. That finally, at the point where the body is completed, the soul is fully integrated into the biological architecture of the body so that it can now come into the physical world to carry out its function. And the function, yes, he's telling me to say, and the function of every soul from the moment of conception, its primary function is love. That function can be distorted by misinformation and improper regard for the functions and needs of the biological organism, which you need in order to exist in this physical dimension. You cannot exist in this physical dimension without a biological organism. It is necessary. There are examples when you understand the function of your consciousness where you can elevate the frequency of your biology to a range that is imperceptible to the senses. And you can also lower its frequency so it can become perceptible to the senses, which is how many of us, angels and guides, can appear and disappear before your eyes, because we understand how to alter the frequency. But this takes many lifetimes and much understanding to recognize this process. But the moment your form is conceived, every single cell that makes up your physiological system is a function of love. By nature, that is its function. And even if you corrupt your mind with fear and anger and rage and disappointment, the function of love will sustain itself as long as the element of fear does not cease its existence. In other words, when the function of love is eclipsed by the function of fear sufficiently enough, then the condition of consciousness that you label as death becomes apparent. The moment the function of fear transcends the function of love, you will experience what you call death. This is true not only for the individual, but also on a societal and global conditionary level, that the function of love and fear are very different in their outcomes of your experience of matter. Can you hear this? That when the functions of fear transcend the functions of love, then the function of what you call death becomes apparent, which is simply a massive transformation of consciousness from one state to another. Great civilizations, far greater than the one you currently exist in, have fallen and risen under this principle. And in each and every instance, you called forth love. You said, we want to resolve our suffering. You pray, you ask, we want to resolve our suffering. And angels are sent to you. They come through the woman into this world. How do you think such as I and others have come into this dimension? But through this process. As your consciousness in this manifestation of civilization has been shifting away from love and becoming more dominated by the subjugating energies of fear, you will find yourselves observing more and more of what you do not like. And for those of you that would seek to fight for your suffering, you shall receive it. And those of you that will fight for your love will find yourself disappointed, as the function of love does not require any fighting whatsoever. The real function of love is in the tone of your voice. The real function of love is in every word you speak. The real function of love is in every thought you think. So be very mindful of what you would choose to think and what you would choose to speak, for you can easily recognize the function of love and the function of fear. You can do this. You can become very conscious of this function of energy. function of love is always lifeward. There is never in all of creation been a condition where love caused suffering. Ever in all of human creation, the function of love has never caused suffering. Only the function of fear can do such things. And you can give labels to these things. You can call the function of love your God, and you can call the function of fear your devil, your evil, whatever you will. But they're very precise in their outcomes and have been so since the dawn of creation. The function of love and the function of life are very precise. And the reality of one is very different than the reality of other. Your experience can tell you. It doesn't take much to look inside yourself to realize you are filled with love or you are filled with fear, and that you may choose to expunge one from your system and invite into your system what is more beneficial to you in forms of what you would eat, what you would drink, what you would say, what you would think. Become inviting of love. Invite it and only allow it in your house. You must understand too that the functions of language change. The message you are hearing now comes through a different organism than the one that I possessed many thousands of years ago. And so you may not hear these words in the way your mind has been taught to believe you should hear them from these texts and these scriptures and these wonderful creations that were purported to present the thinkings and the truths of ideologies that give you an understanding of how to choose love or to choose fear. Because ultimately, every single religious manifestation was designed initially with that premise in mind, to give you a clear understanding of the functions of love and the functions of fear. Each will have their own fruit to bear. Each will have its own outcome, and it will be very obvious to you because love will never cause you pain. Love will never cause you pain. Only fear can do such things. Only fear can do such things. The real function of love is your ability to live in peace as a function of choice. The real function of love is to honor thy temple, to love thy neighbor, to love your creator, whatever designation or name or title you would choose to give it. But no matter what you would choose to worship, make certain that its function is of love and not of fear. But even the tiniest cell in your body is a function of love. It is why you can take a pin and prick your arm and feel pain in but a single point. Because every cell that comes into existence comes in initially as the function of love. And you may choose to defile your temple by what you would eat and what you would drink. And that would corrupt the love in your body. And you would find your body suffering. Be mindful what you invite into your house. The real function of love will always tell you, this is good, this is not good. You always have the opportunity to do this. There is no situation or instance in your life where you cannot discern whether you are experiencing expressions of love or you are living from expressions of fear. If you are taking into your heart the vibrations, the thoughts of love, or the vibrations of the thoughts of fear. Every one of you has the awareness to make that distinction. Although there is much confusion around you about what is true and what is false, especially in what you call these end times. And the reason they are called the end times because it is well known historically for many tens of thousands of years that civilizations that chose to divert their functions and focus away from love to fear have inevitably fallen. You cannot separate the functions of fear from the functions of love when there is confusion. But in any moment, you can easily make a discernment yourself. What is love? What is fear? in your thoughts, in your body, in the conditions of time and space around you. Many of you do not know how to step back away from your fear, but you can always turn away from fear. Always. Yes. Healing. So I'm being told also that he's sending out a lot of healing energy right now. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just, his energy is really hot, so I feel like this, I'm really overheating right now, so I'm going to grab some water here. I get a lot of heat energy from Master Jesus when he comes through. Yeah, somebody's saying here on TikTok, the Bible has been written for the benefit of man. Master Jesus tells me that's a yes and a no. No, in the sense that most of it was written to manipulate, control, and instill fear in the minds of men, not to reestablish and keep strong the function of love in the minds of men. Yes. It was something that was constructed exclusively for the purpose of manipulation and control. The real function of love does not require a book. The real function of love requires that you act from and think from love in all that you would say and in all that you would do. The true book of the one God is written in all of your hearts. It's written in all of your hearts. You know the difference between love and you know the difference between fear. You know the difference between these things. While the fundamental truths may be found within its structure, there is much there that, of course, will tell you to live in absolute fear. That is not what I came to teach. I came to teach love and its function in all places, spaces, and times. Not to teach you of fear, but to teach you of love. Those that would benefit from your fear would teach you so. Those that benefit from your fear teach you so. It's easy to see. Very easy to see. Good morning, Fee. Good to see you, darling. Someone saying, I believe in a creator God, but I don't believe in the Bible, which is written. Understand, yes, I will. He just wants me to say to you, there are many of the divine truths in small measure within these holy scriptures. He's referring to it like all holy scriptures, that there are measures of truth in all of these scriptures. Most of these scriptures are filled with elements of confusion and control. They would teach you to worship suffering as they did in what you call your Christian mythology, which was simply a function of a philosophy that taught the practices of love in living civilization. There were vast communities that lived and functioned in alignment with the function of love. Those communities were all but destroyed and eliminated by what you would call, in your modern terms, the Roman Empire, which still functions, its primary leadership, the core of its existence still exists in your current timeline right now. But you must understand, for the small grains of truth that would give you hope, there are far more grains of falsity in there that would give you fear. And I did not come to give you fear. I came to give you hope and love, not fear. Wow, thank you. Great consideration. I'm not sure. Love is the answer. That's very true. Tanya is saying, and the Bible did say nothing to be added, but the interpretation was from, I'm not sure what the rest of that's supposed to say. Very fascinating. Question from Moran on YouTube. Can I receive a message from Jesus, love from the Holy Land, Israel? You have been receiving it. Please understand, you have been receiving it. Have you not heard? Do you not see? I know it can be a little confusing when you're acting as a medium for information coming through. It comes through your biology, it comes through my acquired experiences, and I try to allow the energy to come through as accurately as I possibly can. But some stuff gets lost in translation, but I do the best I can at allowing and developing this skill of allowing information to come through in its purest form. Got a question on TikTok. So fear exists outside of Earth in other dimensions. Well, he says it's predominantly localized to this planet right now in this galactic system. Fear is predominantly localized to this planet in this galactic system. You continue to perpetuate it. There are many here from what I would tell you are called the corrupted ones that are here that get great benefit from your being in fear. But this is the last big stand between what you would call good and evil in this galactic system. Wow. It's about accepting all situations, even the bad. He says, no, it's not about accepting them. It's about transcending. He's saying your response to any situation, if it is truly, if any and all of your responses are truly coming from love, then you will reap a very different crop in terms of result than you would from the avoidance of it. It is not to tolerate evil. No, love does not tolerate evil. It transcends it. Love transcends evil. The function of love in behavior and in speech and is very precise in its outcome, that it reorganizes the energy of fear into a completely unique expression, which is why the religion that was formed after my departure from this dimension those many centuries ago, that function of fear kept everything in a place where it controlled and manipulated anybody. But the function of love is what it survived on. The religious dogma and control survived on the grains of the seeds of truth and love, but they did not thrive on the seeds of fear. Yes. Question. Why I feel that always good people leave us quickly and evil people stay to hurt others. That's only because we are not, if you chose to, yeah, I will. Pay no heed to those who would have you be in fear. Pay no heed to those who would have you be in fear. They will have no one to hear them. If you turn away from those that would have you live in fear, there would be nobody to listen to them. They would be by themselves. Then they would come to you for love. Do not feed that unless it is very hungry for love. Accept all reality and situations as it is. Emotions are there to guide us out or in something. Yeah, emotion. Talk about emotion a bit. Emotion is energy. It's pure energy from limitless source. And it only has two expressions, love or fear. It's only two expressions of energy in this dimension, love or fear. Love is lifeward, fear is suffering. Very simple. Yes, and there's a distinct, yes, I will. He also wants to tell you there's a very distinct correlation between geological and geophysical and solar events and human collective unconsciousness. There is a direct relationship between our emotional energy collectively and what's happening around us all the time, right? Very important. Christianism is one among 1,000 religions that exist. Why would this one be the real one? He says there is one life that takes many forms to have you understand it from where you are. For there are many of you that will hear things in one way and many of you that will hear things in another. And each formulated religion in its inception was designed, of course, to give you the opportunity to get closer to love. But those who took over these religions and controlled them for themselves would seek to keep you divested of love. But yeah, no, religion is there's thousands and thousands of religions. You're absolutely right. There are thousands and thousands of divine entities. Do I believe in astrology? I know this, what Master Jesus tells me. He says, what you believe, it shall come to pass. It shall be true. If I believe in something, it's going to come to pass. And I've lived self-fulfilling prophecies in my life, and I've suffered, and I've eliminated my suffering. You know, whatever you believe, so it shall be unto you. Really, like, seriously. That's what he's saying. Like, it will be done unto you. Whatever your belief is, good or bad, right or wrong, fearful or loving, whatever your beliefs are, that is what's manifesting the conditions of your life. And beliefs organize emotions, and our emotions organize actions, and actions organize our behavior, and our behavior organizes our society. So whatever you believe, if you believe in astrology, it will affect you. If you believe in the god of money, it will affect you. If you believe in that the cold can kill you, it will kill you. And then you talk to somebody like Wim Hof, who go out in the cold and sit in there for hours, right? Not even feel it. So whatever you believe, so it shall be. It's universal. And every single great mystic has said the same thing. Whatever you will believe, so it shall be, right? And it is. It is. Someone's asking, is my mate gonna pull through? She's 1 to 5 that found in a car crash in Wales. Okay, yes, hang on. She's got 2 guardian angels with her right now. She's got 2 guardian angels there with her right now. What's really, really important is that you center yourself in your heart and feel the joy of their being healed. Feel the joy of them being healed right now. Like, feel it in your heart right now. Like feel this right now. Feel the joy of their healing in your heart. The joy of their healing. The joy of their healing in your heart. For that which is within you is within them also. Yes. One of the other things I've been taught lately too is that the soul, when there's a severe trauma to the body, the soul will distance itself from the body. What you can do is you can actually think to the soul. Don't try talking. A lot of people talk to a body when it's lying there in coma or stroke, and they talk to the body. The soul can't hear you if the body's badly damaged, but the soul can hear your thoughts. If you think to it, regenerate your body, because the soul can do that. Your soul can regenerate your body. It can regenerate your mind, but you have to give the soul instruction that it can do that. It's not in the body when there's severe trauma, but feel your friend being healed right now. Question: are you aware your practice comes from forces of darkness? Read the book of Leviticus. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that you would say that, because it just demonstrates to me that your function of love is still based in fear. It's not based in love. So I'm going to take a moment just to send you love, because I do understand why you would think that. And let me address that further. There are lower vibrational entities. There are entities that live from fear that are controlling and manipulating humanity. And there are entities that live from the function and vibration of love that are also interacting with humanity to elevate them up. So I understand that the place you're coming from is the dogmatic religious system you were taught to believe that all things like this are evil, and nothing can be further from the truth. If I play a television set, we have 2 TV sets in a room, and I'm playing some horrible movie that's about death and destruction in one. I'm playing another one that's talking about the life of Master Jesus. You know, are you going to say that TV sets are bad? Does that make one TV set wrong and the other TV set right? No, it's the message that's coming through. One's a message of love, one's a message of fear. Which one do you think is coming through here? If you believe it is darkness, then you're mistaken, and I forgive you. You need to just let that go. You need to surrender your fear and start remembering there is a difference between love and fear. The angels are here, and the devils are here. They're all here right now on this dimension with us. Be mindful of who you choose to listen to, right? Sending you much love, just the same. That's right. Somebody's saying there's only many different books of history. That's all it really is. I'm going to swing over here. Someone, Terry is asking, please, I feel so lost and lonely. May I have some guidance from the divine? Thank you. Terry, I love that name, Terry T. Terry, can I just ask you for a moment just to take your 2 hands, and place them right over your physical heart, like right over where your physical heart, just place your hands there and bring your attention into your heart. As you do that, feel the warmth that moves from your hand to the heart. And just allow yourself to feel that energy coming in to your heart. Just bring your awareness in there. Feel the vibration of energy entering into your heart right now. Know this, that in your heart you are never alone, ever. Let the light of love enter through your heart into your mind. Let the vibration of love enter your heart and go through and into your mind, that you may know and feel that thou art never alone. You are never alone. Stay in this energy, Terry. Just rest in the vibration you're feeling in the heart and the movement of energy from your heart to the brain. Just allow yourself to feel that and just rest in that for a few minutes and stay in that and breathe. Remember to breathe. As you feel the energy in the heart area, breathe it in as if you can fill your whole body with it, okay? And do that. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Terry. It's a beautiful question. Beautiful request. Love that. Question from Carolyn. May I ask you a question? If Jesus has a message for me, thank you. Yes, you've been hearing it all along. I hope you've been listening, because what he's been saying about the real function of love is something we all know. We all know what the real function of love is. You know something's good for you, and when something's not good for you, you know this. Even people who don't eat properly know they shouldn't be eating what they're eating, but they choose to ignore their function of love, and they stay with the function of comfort, which is often one of the things they say, stay away from. Watch out for comfort zones. They're very dangerous. You don't want to be in a comfort zone, because they can get very unhealthy in a comfort zone. A question from Vertical. I saw an 8-year-old boy in a regression in ancient Roman times and thought it was Jesus. Was I correct? I'm getting I'm getting a yes, no for some strange reason, but I'm getting more that you're connecting more to the energy of John the Baptist prior to the birth of Jesus. You're connecting to John the Baptist's energy prior to the birth of Jesus, right? Not a lot of people know that John and Master Jesus were cousins. A question from Manoj. Please ask Jesus how close or far I am from my Kundalini awakening. He says it's right now. You have to feel it. It's not just a yes. One good person on the planet right now is you want to draw energy up from your lower spine, your survival centers, if you like, the root chakra. You want to draw you can draw them. You don't have to wait for it to happen. Draw the energy up, like tighten your lower muscles and breathe the energy from the lower energy centers. That is from your sacrum, right? From your root chakra, right? And up through your solar plexus. You want to draw the energy up into here where the creative centers are. You draw that, you can awaken your own Kundalini deliberately. You don't have to wait for somebody to awaken it for you. A lot of people go and look for masters to do that, but they'll tell you the same thing. You can awaken it yourself. You literally can, just through using your breath properly. But thank you for bringing that up, Maj. Really appreciate it. Question on TikTok. Should I start doing mediumship readings soon or later in this year? Thank you, William. If you understand that your function of love is well established, that you will not deviate from its function, then by all means, mediumship is a natural function everybody has access to. Everybody from all levels, all walks of life, have access to guides, angels, ascended masters, lower vibrational beings. We have a broad range of what we can connect to. But I've been told very carefully and very clearly and repeatedly, very important, if you're going to become a medium, if you're going to do any mediumship, then get yourself, your body, your mind aligned to a vibration of love. Like treat your body with love and respect. Get your mind articulated into functions and thoughts and patterns and behaviors that are based in love. Your thinking, your acting should be the function of love. That way you stay vibrationally in alignment to those beings, because the beings I bring through ascended masters, my guardian angel, other multidimensional beings, are on a frequency that I've attuned my mind and body to. So I got certain information comes through because that's what I resonate with. Just like when your television set or radio is tuned to a certain station, it only pulls in information from that station. So yeah, if you're aligned more predominantly to love, then that is a good time to be a medium. But if you're predominantly aligned to fear, I highly recommend avoiding trying mediumship until you raise your vibration up. Mediumship, because there are low vibrational beings, there are high vibrational beings. So please be very mindful about that process. But yeah, you can channel anytime you feel yourself in alignment with love. That's the only time I do it. Thank you so much. Question. Any message for me from my husband, Brad, please. Forgive me for saying this, but hey, baby, it's really nice to see you. I'm really glad. Wow. I'm not doing justice to his tone. It's more like, hey, baby. It's like this loud, deep, rich voice. And there's like, hey, baby. Like the moment you put your attention on them, you're connecting energetically to them. And this is said all the time. When you leave the physical medium of expression, you don't cease to exist. You just don't have a physical mechanism from which to respond physically. So you can't speak in words or physical words anyway. But sit in his energy right now. Like sit in his energy. So many people don't understand that your people that leave your lives physically will try to connect with you energetically, and oftentimes you'll suddenly think about them for no particular reason because they're trying to connect you. And if you could just pause right now and just feel Brad's energy with you, like just feel it. And he also wants you to go on. He wants you to be happier, go into more fulfillment, raise your happiness. He wants you to raise your happiness up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, lift it up. He wants you like he's really insistent. He wants you to really lift your happiness up. Yes, that's all he's ever wanted. Yes, since then. Yes, it's all he's ever wanted. So whenever you find yourself thinking about somebody who's left the physical dimension, that's because their energy is interacting with you, right? And it can be argued that something out there stimulated that because we went and had coffee there. It stimulated my memory of them. But in that moment when you're thinking of them, your energies connect. Remember that. Your energies connect. Trying to find out where that one is. Oh, hey, Con. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Question from Camille. Camille on YouTube. Please, Master Jesus, tell me the names of my angels, if you can, of course. Of course, of Gabriel and Ezekiel, right? These are angels now, these beings. They will guide you. Listen to them. Listen to them. Listen to them. In your heart, you will know the truth. In your heart, you will know the truth. But you've also got other beings that want to connect you to. Again, if you want to know more about what's going on, I can only give brief answers for the most part here. You can go to my website, torontomedium.com, and book a reading with me if you want more details. There's a lot more information about who your guides and angels are there that you might be interested in knowing. Thank you so much for that, Camille. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Drusilla. I really appreciate it. Love you too. Any message from Spirit for me? Susie. Thank you, Susie. Again, the same is being said that if you have been listening, then you have heard. Is your function of love real? Do you function from love or do you function from fear? These are the only two that you can serve. You cannot serve any other master but love or fear. And whom would you serve? Well, yes. What's really surprising is when you serve love or you serve fear, you will become love or you will become fear. You become in the image and likeness of that which you serve. Are you serving love or are you serving fear? Like really important. Are your thoughts of love or are your thoughts of fear? Right? Well, thank you so much. Here we go. I lost both parents and my pet all within 5 months. Any messages from them? Well, first of all, I'm getting this energy, this tingling sensation coming down into my body. And it's important you know that they are not lost. They're actually quite not lost, if I may use that term. So important. If you could just sit, again, just sit. They're present with you, like right now. When you make a request like this, if you can pause and just feel. And we just began our one-on-one masterclass on how to sense the energy of loved ones and ascended masters and other multidimensional beings. And if when they come to your mind, your dog too, yes, I know. Your dog's very sweet. Very important that you learn to feel the presence of their energy. Because just because you don't have a body doesn't mean you don't exist, right? Just because I don't have a radio set to play the signals that are going through here doesn't mean the signals aren't there. They're still there. You just have to have a way, you have to develop a way to tune your awareness into their energy. And right now you're tuning into their energy. They're telling me that you can feel them right now. One to the left, one to the right, and the dog is sitting up and looking at all three of you. It's really important you just feel the presence of their energy. Don't try to see them with their physical eyes. That happens sometimes. We've had people who actually will see the person and right in front of them, but sense their energy right in front of you, right now, beside you and in front. Just feel it right now. And then just let yourself receive from them what they want to give you. Receive from them the energy they want to receive. Yeah. Thank you. Question. Can I have a message? I feel lost. Yes, of course you can. Just a moment here. I'm going to take that off for a moment here. You know, a lot of people are not, you're not, everybody who thinks they're lost, you are only lost because you are lost in thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that don't support nor sustain the function of your love. Ideas, information, and beliefs that you hold on to will awaken you or keep you in suffering. Love is the awakening. Love is the awakening. Yes, really important. You are not lost. Seek out love within you, within your house. Seek out love within you, within your house, within here. And you can do that. A statement, a really beautiful statement that I've been given repeatedly to share is this. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and think or speak these words. Think or speak these words. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. Just speak or think those words and feel the vibration of energy that comes from the words or the thoughts. You can think and speak it at the same time. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. And really feel the vibration of those words as you think or speak them. And your feeling of being lost will begin to diminish because the vibration of love elevates your energy up. The vibration of fear lowers your energy down, right? It's very simple. Thoughts create energies that we call emotions. Emotions organize the conditions of our body and our environment. So that statement is very powerful. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. And it is the truth when you really feel the vibration of those words. A lot of people don't become sensitive enough to what they're hearing. If people were really sensitive to the vibration of words, they would be turning off their televisions. They wouldn't be watching news anymore. And they would not be listening to people spouting off fear and anger and judgment. You just would not give attention to anything. If you're in a state of love, you would just, that's not my channel. You'd walk away, turn away from fear. A good question here from Katrina. Why does the soul distance itself from the body during trauma or because of it? The body has its own mechanisms. Yes. So when the body is severely damaged, okay, the personality construct that you identify yourself as being, well, in that body, like I identify myself as being William Michael Forbes because that's the personality construct in this body. But if I haven't developed enough self-awareness and this body is damaged, I will think I'm unconscious. And everybody, when they go to sleep at night, when they put their body to sleep, the soul leaves the body, okay? Once the soul leaves the body, it's no longer perceiving reality through the 5 physical senses. And the soul can leave the body anytime, right? So when the body is severely damaged and the personality is unconscious, the body's in what you appears to be an unconscious state, your awareness as soul is differentiated from the body. You aren't in the body as a personality anymore because the personality's turned off. But you're not aware that you're out of your body because you're so used to believing you are the personality that you don't recall that you are pure awareness. You know, in our meditation process, when we teach people how to meditate, they come to this profound state of awareness where you realize, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my body, I am awareness. I have a body, I have a mind. And they begin to restructure their mind and body to be in alignment with who they are as a soul. Right? It's a very fascinating and wonderful thing to watch when a person realizes they're not their thoughts, they're not their emotions, they are awareness that can change and alter thoughts and emotions to create a very different life experience. But that's a really great question. When a soul has left the body in trauma, you can think to the soul. The soul can perceive thoughts. It can't perceive words because in a non-physical state, it doesn't perceive language as a sound wave. It perceives information as a thought wave. So consider that. Which comes first, the thought or the emotion? The emotion is energy. It's always there. It becomes an emotion, which is energy in motion. The moment you formulate a thought organizes energy into a frequency. The moment you formulate a thought, the thought organizes this vast reservoir of infinite energy called energy. And it becomes a specific thought or emotion when the thought structures it. So thought will structure emotion in a specific way. Each and every time you formulate a thought, it creates an energy that becomes an emotion that flows through your body. So thought organizes energy that becomes a sensation called emotion that will cause very specific actions. In fact, every single human manifestation is a product of that process. Thought organizing an energy into an emotional expression that causes the body to be a certain way or to do a certain way. If you ever think, wow, that's amazing, then your whole physiological system reacts a certain way. If you go, oh, that's terrible, your whole body reacts in a certain way. You organize emotional energy with your thoughts. You organize emotional energy with your thoughts. Somebody on Facebook, Loretta, William, has my mom come back onto Earth? And if so, what part of her, of my mom is in spirit? Has been meaning to ask you for a long time. I know my mom is always with me, but wondering when she comes back to Earth in different body, how much of her is left of her? That's a great question. So what she's basically asking is, when the soul leaves the body, so your body, say the body ceases to function, you transition out of matter, you leave that physical personality. The personality that was that body, that consciousness still exists as a fractal or a fragment of the overall consciousness called the soul. When the soul moves out of that body, it moves into a new experience, and it tends to be less focused on the old experience when it comes into a new body. It starts to actually become more fixated on this new identity being given to it. There are many mystics and many masters throughout history who have actually been able to retain all the knowledge and information from previous incarnations. And that takes a lot of practice to retain consciously all that information, but anybody can learn to do that. Past life regression shows that you can do that. Dolores Cannon did some incredible work around past life regression. There are many beings that have demonstrated that we can actually retain and pull forward past life information. As for your mother specifically, Loretta, well, she's again, you're thinking less and less about her because she's more and more becoming ingrained in the personality that she's in, the new personality she's in now. She's been given a new personality now. So the mother that you remember still exists as a manifestation of consciousness, but it does not exist in the new personality the way it did in the old body that she used to have, right? Because every body has a different personality. But thank you for asking that question, Loretta. Any message from my grandma, Elizabeth? She's passed. Thank you for saying the word passed. You know, a lot of people don't understand that there is no such thing as death. There's a transformation of energy from one state to another. And again, I'm not feeling your mother is not. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. I'm not feeling her. Yeah, but I'm still getting the word mother. I'm not feeling her. Yeah, I keep feeling mother energy. I don't feel grandmother at all. I'm feeling that she's already in a body, like she's been well established in a new life. But I'm being shown it's a funny that I'm being shown this image of white and red flowers on a big ring, like a giant wreath, white and red flowers with a gold bow. And I'm not certain why she's showing this to me, but it's very clear. It's like a fairly large wreath. And it's white flowers, red flowers, and gold bow on the bottom. She's just showing me that. Why are you showing me that? She's saying that you'll understand that. But that's what she wants me to communicate to you specifically, the one that you're asking about, that, and that was that personality wants me to communicate that to you specifically. This big wreath with the red, white flowers, yeah, and the gold bow on the bottom. And it's all the green, it's green like what do you call that? Cedar. It's like green cedar underneath the flowers. Thank you. So Katrina's asking, who's talking to me in the morning when I'm waking up? I can't tell if they're a low vibe being or someone that cares and is trying to catalyze me for growth. That's a great question. If I tune in, Katrina, this is not. Yeah, this is the closest I can come up with these beings. They're nature beings, and they're more like, I want to use the term brownies, because they're really small, but they're very dense energetically. And again, it's about earthwork. It's not about, it's about earthwork, like doing some work with the earth. This is happening. At least this morning, this is what this was anyway. That's about earthwork. They're trying to get you to get more involved in earthwork. That's the phrase they're giving me to tell you this was about. It's about earthwork, right now. There we are. I guess we're back on now. It's very strange. So thank you for that question, Katrina. So it's definitely about earthwork. You're welcome, Loretta. Yolanda's asking, what is the twitch I have in my right eye recently? Yeah, somebody watch the thoughts. I'm being told to tell you to watch the thoughts. Pay attention to the thoughts that precede the ticking in the eye. Notice what you're thinking about. They're saying that if you pay attention for the next few days, the thoughts you're thinking will form a pattern of action you need to take. That's why it's the right eye, right? Connected to the left cerebral hemisphere, right? So it's important. The thoughts that just precede the ticking, write them down and do that over the next few days, and you'll get a clear indication of what the message is for you specifically. Wow, Yolanda, thank you so much for that. I got time for one more question on TikTok and one more on YouTube. I plan to work elsewhere. Do you see my particular places that might be good? I see a lot of places in my own mind. I see a lot of places, but I'm trying to tap into your energy, so I don't give you my perception, but tune into yours. But you need to be high. You need summer, warm mountains. Like you need thick forest mountains. Like you need to be up in the forests of mountains. There's going to be a lake wherever you go. Wherever this place is, there's a lake there that you need to be close to. But like really, you need this higher elevation of energy. It would be really good for you right now. So I don't know if you got any opportunities to work in the forest industry, or you've been asked to do an event up in the mountains, but being shown really strong, clear images of mountains and forests would be really beneficial for you to be connected to. I'm getting another question here on TikTok. Okay. I made cedar wreaths this last Christmas that you described. You're amazing. Oh, thank you very much. So now you know your mother was with you. Understand, people are amazing. When you realize this word death has to be removed from the English language. It's transition. Your consciousness transitions from matter to energy. And I know it's difficult for some people to conceive of that. Master Jesus is talking about what is the real function of love. That's what you're here to learn. We all come here to learn the function of love. And what's happened is we've gotten so polarized into the vibrations of fear that we've moved away from love, and which is why we're seeing so much chaos on the planet, so much corruption on the planet. Thank you for the super chat, Drusilla. Not because there's something wrong with humanity. It's we're lost in fear. We're lost in judgment. We're lost in greed and selfishness and laziness and ignorance. We need to wake up and honor this divine temple. You're in that body. The body is a divine temple. You didn't make that body. You can't make an eyeball, never mind a fingernail. Something made that body for you, and your soul is in it to experience creation. All the messages that come through, your real function of love, what is it? It's how you treat your body, the thoughts you think in your mind, the words you speak. They can only be from love or fear. And that's all any of us can do. On this dimension, we only have two choices, two masters to serve, love or fear. Which one will you serve? And gosh, please choose love. Please, because we need to. This is a massive movement of ascension, and we're seeing changes on the planet and the solar system that are profound effects of our collective unconsciousness, orchestrating conditions of time, space, and matter. Emotion organizes matter. If you get excited, your body reacts a certain way. If you're depressed, your body reacts a certain way. Emotion organizes matter. And our collective human energy is literally affecting time, space, and matter on a global scale, on a cosmic scale. You gotta wake up. Wake up. Take one more question from YouTube. Here we go. Thank you. Christopher's saying on YouTube, I want to share this, man. Keep striving for love and seeing love in the world. Keep being love. Give hope and acts of love every day. Yes, and every one of us knows, every one of you knows without question, the difference between love and fear. You can tell if what you're eating, is it love or fear? Everybody knows this. So there's certain things you should eat and certain things you should not eat. I want to thank Archangel Ezekiel for coming by today. I want to thank Master Jesus for coming by today. I want to thank Archangel Gabriel for coming by today. I want to thank the individuals that came forward to respond to the people that were asking questions. And I want to thank all of you for coming forth today and sharing this information. Please go through your day and ask yourself, is this function of love or is this function of fear? If you're yelling at somebody, that's not a function of love. If you're putting people down and you're being angry at people, that's not a function of love. Learn to function from love in thought, in words, and action. I want to wish you all much love and have yourselves a wonderful, joyful day. And I will see you guys on Wednesday's edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for your support. Oh, patrons, you'll be receiving just quick, one more quick announcement. Patrons, you'll be receiving the information for the tomorrow night's live event at 7 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Time. So be ready for that. And hopefully I'll see all you guys at that meeting. Much love, everybody.